Hi, Stephen. My name is Nathan Garcia, and I am the owner of Maverick Digital. We are a digital marketing firm located in Baltimore, Maryland, and I was doing some competitive research for one of my clients who's located in Texas, and I came across your website. First off, I wanted to congratulate you. I think you've done a great job with setting up your website, answering questions that that prospects would have, and walking them through a process that educates them and answers some of the big purchasing decisions, purchasing questions that they would have. But in going through your site, I identified a few areas that you may not be aware of that could enhance the user experience. I also just looked quickly if you were using some of the tools that my clients are using to build out a complete marketing system. Now, some of these tools are really easy to install, so if you're already working with a developer, they'll be only a few minutes of their time to get these things up on your site. But by putting them there on your site, what will occur is that you will be able to get a lot more information and identify who's coming to your website, how long they're staying, and also retarget those folks so that you are potentially able to expand the number of prospects and leads that you get, or lower your cost per acquisition. So with that, I'm just going to walk you through some of the areas that I identified as potentially able to be improved. And then if you'd like help with any of these, I'd be happy to discuss that with you at a later point. So I'm just going to switch over to my computer screen and show you exactly what I'm looking at. All right, Stephen, here we are at your website, and we're on the homepage here. Right off the bat, I would recommend you install a tool called Google Tag Manager. I'm using this tool called Google Tag Assistant, and what it allows me to do is just look at your website to see if you have a tag here, and if so, what are you looking at? So I can tell that you're using Google Analytics. I don't see that you're using any other tools from them. I would recommend using Google Tag Manager because that's going to allow you to get a lot more information from your website, and it'll allow you to make changes to your website very quickly. And so it's a great tool. It's completely free from Google, but in Google Tag Manager, you can have analytics and you can have your Facebook pixel. And by getting just those two pixels into Google Tag Manager, what you can do is begin to get a lot more data from your website. And so as you can tell here, I'm checking if you have a Facebook pixel installed. You don't. And this is just a lost opportunity because of the amount of data that you can get from Facebook. Again, this is very simple to set up, but just the data alone, whether you're advertising on Facebook or you have a Facebook page, isn't as significant as the data that you will get because Facebook has about 244,000 different data points on each user. And so for you to be able to capture that information and either weigh it against information that you're collecting from Google Analytics or help you to develop the online avatar who's consuming your content so that you can create better content in the future, or identify who you should be advertising to, all of those are great opportunities for you. And so there are reasons that I would be using Google Tag Manager and the Facebook Pixel. Now, the next thing that I want to point out is your page load time. This is a free tool offered by Google. It's called Page Speed Insights. The reason that I do this next is that majority of people now are looking at a website on the phone for the first time. And so if your mobile speed isn't good, then it's going to impact the experience that someone has. And if that's the first time that you're visiting they're visiting your site, then it's a little difficult. So here you have a pretty good ranking at 77, which looks great. You can see that how it comes up here on mobile. There are a few different ways that you may be able to speed this up, but overall I would say that you're pretty good on mobile. On desktop, it does look like it could be enhanced, and here are a few ways that you may be able to do that. Some of these are pretty simple to implement as well. Next, I want to point out a program that I use that allows me to get a understanding of your overall website traffic. And so what we're going to look at here is the amount of traffic that you got from your website over the past month, and then what it's worth. Now, this is interesting, is that you're ranking already for 123 keywords, and the number of people who visit your website is estimated to be worth about $2.6 thousand, $2,600 per month. And you have some great history here. What you notice, or what I notice, is that it looks like some keywords are falling off the page. You have a lot of organic rankings, and so if these are falling off the page, off the first page, you're going to lose out on that traffic, and I would want to get that back because that can increase the amount of clicks that you get. Next, we can look at your competition, who is competing with you organically and who is competing with you on a paid basis. This is interesting because you can look at keywords that they're ranking for that you may not be ranking for, and then go forward and get some of the traffic from folks who search those terms. Now, what you see here are the overall number of keywords you can rank for are 244. Here are the ones that they recommend that you start with. You already have those, but you have some weakness here with these, and then there are some keywords that are exclusive that your competitors don't rank for. And so what you've done is you've built up a nice moat here around what you're doing, but it's really significant that you keep up with these because the value here is going to be pretty significant. You see that you rank for sales management training. It's worth about $10 per click. You also are ranking for training for sales managers. It's worth about $6 per click. So for future content, I would make sure that I am paying attention to those keywords and making sure that my content includes some of those keywords, and that I'm getting some good traffic for those terms themselves. Now, I also want to look at your weaknesses here. Sales management training workshop. This is something you definitely have. I would be more concerned about these. Management sales training. You can increase your ranking for that, as well as sales management metrics, sales manager workshop. So definitely the workshop seems like it's a valuable one, and it would be something that could help you drive some more business. So this program itself is pretty valuable for just looking at your overall situation to see where you are, what you're doing right, where you could get some better results. And I'll attach this in the email that I'm going to send to you. Next, I want to look at another tool. This one is called Ahrefs. And what I see here is that you have lost out on some referring domains. So you had other websites who were linking to you who are no longer linking to you. And so for the past 30 days, you've lost out on a good number here. And some of these aren't that significant, but some of these are good to have. Like you see all these, the higher the ranking over here, the more valuable these websites are. So I would look if you could get a link back from them. If you can't, then you want to replace them with something that's similar, because these are a lot to lose. And when you lose these, what happens is that Google looks at your situation and they say, what's going on? Why is this guy not popular anymore? We shouldn't rank him as highly. And so you want to fix those. You also want to fix some of these broken backlinks. You only have 10 here, but these are really simple things that you could do to strengthen your website and to make sure that it is working and keeping up with all the work that you've already put in thus far. So I'll send this to you as well, but this is a great opportunity for you to strengthen your position, because what you see is that your referring domains really went up, but it's just been dropping here. And so we want to build that back up so that you can continue to have some presence there online for relevant search terms. I want to draw some attention over to your LinkedIn profile. So our company, we will look at the total business and how you're marketing on different channels and making sure that your marketing message is in sync. And I just walked you through some tools as it relates to your website and how you can get more visitors to your website. You're doing a great job, but once you get them to your website, now we need to get their contact info, and then we need to get their information to become a lead and hopefully make a sale. And so that's what I look at here. I really like that you have your book right here. What troubles me is that I don't have a direct link to go and get the book. I really wish that you sold your book online, or that I could at least get a manuscript online. You have wonderful PDF downloads, but I can't even get the book that guys like Brian Tracy have said are excellent books that you should be reading. And so for me, this is a huge opportunity for you to go forward and actually start selling your book online, and also selling audio copy of your book, the training that would go along with that, and some advanced training, because you can direct your client, your prospect, along that customer journey, and you can educate them in a way that you know that works. And that gives you greater control of the outcome. And so for those reasons, what I would do is I would put a link here for the audio. Maybe it's just an excerpt of your book, but it's an audio excerpt. It's a free download, and somebody can get it. I think that by exchanging the email information for that, it's a great tool. It's a great tactic to get people into your database and find out who is your ideal buyer and build up some prospects. You have some great followers and wonderful articles here. It looks like you're doing well. I'm not going to spend too much time here, but I saw that as a huge opportunity, and it really reflects on the website itself. Here's an area that you need to address in terms of just getting this fixed. This can be done very simply, very quickly. I would change up your buttons up here to have Contact Stephen in a different color. I also think that you should have a subheadline here. Are you struggling to make your sales numbers? Stephen Rosen is a proven authority to help companies grow from 7 figures to 8 figures, or whatever the number, whatever the key benefit that you offer is. You want to state that there. I would also move these down below your headline. This is stealing the thunder from your core message. These companies are great and they're building authority, but they only are significant once I know what you do. And so simply from a reading left to right, I think that this needs to be above, but the credibility here is awesome. I would have a overview video on this page, on your homepage, to introduce who you are. And then I would also have a second button here to have a Contact Stephen. And I would keep the Contact Stephen button here and down here the same color. And that is the first step that you want people to go through, or at least it looks like now. I think personally that the phone call is a little aggressive for the first ask, but I like that it's there. I think that taking somebody through a process so they can get to know you and understand what you do would be more effective than having a 15-minute phone call. As a buyer, if I'm getting on a phone call with you, it's really because of only some last-minute questions that I have before making a purchase, or I want to sell you something. You know, I wonder if you had an application here instead of Contact Stephen and giving me access to your calendar. If you had an application that had the key criteria of the ideal client that you work with, if that would help you to get more qualified prospects. Maybe it reduces the number you get, but it increases the quality. I think that would be a great test. Here's the book page. I think that this is a great tool for you. I think the book is a great tool for you. I would love to have a button down here to allow you to get somebody's name and email in exchange for the audio excerpt. I don't really agree with having these links go to the actual websites, because it takes people off of your page and then they are not as likely to come back. So I would have some sort of funnel here that gives people the book for free if they pay for the shipping. I don't know what your cost for a lead is, Stephen, but I would take that into consideration with a funnel like a free book funnel, where as long as somebody is paying for the shipping, you can send them the book. Maybe the book costs you $4 to produce, but you're able to get a lead then at $4. But it also brings somebody into your funnel, so you have the opportunity to show them a workshop or to set up a application so that they can actually work with you personally. So I would restructure this a little bit, and then finally, I would restructure this. I like that you have some stuff that's free. When you take me to another website here, BrightTalk, I already logged in and everything. This is great, but you can replicate this on your site. And I doubt that you're making a pitch here to sell. I didn't go through the whole thing, but I doubt that you're... Let me see. Business execution. starresults.com/business. Okay, so it's the exact same thing. It's schedule a time to talk. I think that you need to have an application and then only work with people who are qualified. This doesn't seem like the most effective use of your time. So, Stephen, I hope that you got a lot of value out of this. Like I said, you're doing a wonderful job here with everything that you've done. You should be very proud of yourself. And I think that you have a great opportunity in front of you because of that, because of the work that you've already done. A lot of this stuff is simple to do, but as you can tell, there's a lot of it involved. But these could be really good self-sustaining business ideas that you put in place. If you're able to just define a system and have it run, have the metrics in place to allow you to gauge the performance, then you could allow this thing to really feed you leads, sales, and then allow you to spend the time to do what you love. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to talk to you a little bit more about this and discuss how we may be able to work together. But I'd greatly appreciate just hearing your feedback and letting me know that you watched the video. So thanks a lot, Stephen. Look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye.